level 1 concept and just kind of 2 hitches that are in the level 1 test. The girth hitch versus the basket hitch. Know the pros and cons to both of them and be able to decide which one to use in any given situation. With this, you're going to have what's called a looped sling, sometimes known as an endless loop sling. And this could be different materials. Like this could be a rope that's tied to itself. It could also be like a green sling, which they use for the rigging a lot with crane work, you know, the thicker type slings. In this case, we just simply have a thin diameter nylon sling that's been sewn. I'm going to take this porter wrap here. I'm first going to show a girth hitch. Now, a girth hitch, I take this loop, I take the loop and I go through my object, and then I immediately pull the other end of my sling through that, and now I have a girth hitch, okay? And you'll notice the girth hitch is very secure. It chokes onto the object. Chokes really well. But the girth hitch limits the strength of the sling, okay? The strength retention of this sling is significantly reduced, okay, because the bend ratio now is very small. So it might not matter as much if I were to girth hitch this portion of the porter wrap. That girth hitch is stronger than doing it around this part because the bend ratio is larger here than it is here, all right? So bend ratio is going to cause more strain on the fibers of the rope or sling. So the sharper bends you have, the less strength that sling is going to retain, all right? So girth hitch, it chokes up around its object. It's secure. It's a quick, easy way to hitch something. We're going to talk about the basket hitch now. Basket hitch is even a simpler concept. All it is just passing your sling through your object and then doubling it, and you have now basket hitched. Now the basket hitch is much less secure because it does not choke. So I'm okay to basket hitch this porter wrap right here, but I would not be okay to basket hitch it around the bollard. See, I don't even want to do it because I know that it could slip right on out and just fall. It could easily fall right on out. Now, girth hitch, I have no problem girth hitching it and then standing up because I know that girth hitch chokes and it's not going to get past these posts and it's way more secure, all right? But again, the basket hitch, I can't do that here. I could do it here, but I cannot do it here. So you might say, well, if it's so much less secure than the girth hitch, why would you ever use it? Well, because it doubles the strength of your sling. Okay, now the girth hitch reduces the strength of your sling. The basket hitch doubles the strength of your sling. So it's a huge difference. So if you're pulling things and you're close to the limitations of your working load limits and stuff, then and you can choose to do a basket hitch and security is not as much of a concern because say you have a hard point like this to go around, like a closed point to go around, like pulling a tree, for example. You might pull a tree, you could go around one of the crotches and there's no way it's going to come off. Then use a basket hitch. That is, you're doubling the strength of your sling. But if you're going around, say, a spar that has no branches, well, then you should probably opt for a girth hitch because a basket hitch could slide on past down everything and come right off. There are 2 more things you need to consider when deciding between these 2 hitches. The first is sling extension. With this girth hitch, you can see that my extension is a lot more than with a basket hitch. Okay, the second consideration, in addition to the other 2, you're going to have 2 attachment points with the basket hitch as opposed to 1 attachment point with the girth hitch. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, but when you have something like a small steel carabiner and a really heavy duty sling, it is harder to clip into 2 attachment points than it is to clip into just 1.
So that is sort of a drawback of the basket hitch. Furthermore, if you have a guy accidentally clip only one attachment point and you think it's good, then the whole thing is going to come undone. So there is obviously a margin for error with that. I hope that makes sense. It's a very simple concept. The main thing that I want to see my guys understand, and what you, the viewers, should understand if this is of interest to you, is know when to use which one in a given situation. Understand the strengths and limitations of each.